I'm a computer geek, and I like science fiction and fantasy, hardly surprising. What's more interesting is that a while ago I started asking myself a question, why do I like computer science and science fiction? Why do I like science fiction and fantasy? And I turned out that I keep on reading lots and lots of science fiction books, not because of the science in them, because for the most part it's just techno-babble. And it's just incomprehensible in many cases, or it's a make-believe. And it's not for the fiction part, because the epic battle of good and evil just happens to be in every single book I read. And it gets tiresome after a while if that's what you're after. Just pick one favorite book and do it there. However, what science fiction writers do really, really well is they think about the brand new worlds to create and populate with really marvelous societies. And they put their stories in those perspectives, they put those stories in those settings, and those settings is what really, really attracted me to the books. And this is why I keep on reading about the epic battle of good and evil, because it's new in every single different setting. It's really good that science fiction writers have that opportunity to build societies. I like looking at what people do, I like looking at cultures. However, I'm not a science fiction writer, so I can't really build my own. What I can do, on the other hand, is I can say, can I study the existing ones? Can I study the societies we live in? The world we live in, our culture. And, well, there is a profession that does it, social scientists. They're really, really well-respected people. They do a lot of wonderful work. However, for a very, very long while, this work had really nothing to do with what we computer people do. And my point that I'm trying to make here, and that's my second observation, is that that's changing. My claim is that computer people now have really great insight into how societies operate, and they have really great opportunity and great thinking. And I'm going to illustrate it with a couple of exhibits. My first exhibit comes from the field of politics. If you are at least slightly following politics, you know that the political discourse in the United States goes around how restrictive or permissive the government has to be in terms of economical freedoms and in terms of social freedoms. And you can be in one of those four groups, depending on what you believe. Now, you can predict based on where your beliefs are, which of the two parties you will vote for, and if you look at this spectrum, you can kind of see where the Republicans concentrate and where the Democrats are. This answers the question of why Republicans always vote together and why Democrats always argue with each other over what they would do. More importantly, here's who did this research. It's computer people who are running one of the online dating sites who took that information from 172,000 profiles of their users. This is something that you couldn't really do even 10 years ago, but you can answer really, really profound questions right now with this thing. My second exhibit is about your social life. How many of you have a Facebook account? Well, I don't. However, this is what your real social network looks like when you're in real life. You have your college friends, you have your high school friends, you have your parents, your family, different people. You spend different amounts of time talking to them and conversing to them, and you basically try to separate the people who don't know each other very well in your lives. Now, this is what your digital life looks like. Facebook makes everybody a friend, they all can see everybody else, and it used to not matter. Because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, digital life was like 5% of your real life. That's no longer the case. Your real life and your digital life are starting to very slowly coincide, because how can they not when there are 500 million people on Facebook? So somebody needs to make certain that your digital life becomes similar to your real one. That your social networks don't overlap, or that your social networks behave in exactly the same manner in both cases. So who will do it? Well, that will be you, because that's the next 5 years of computer development. So by the time you graduate, that's what you will wind up doing. So this is my sort of parting thought. These days, you come here to become a computer scientist. When you come out and get hired by companies, that's what you will do. They'll ask you to study the society. They'll ask you questions like, what do my customers want? How can I find out about it? And so because of this, now you already have and you committed, but you have your younger sisters and brothers who might not be computer people, who might want to study society instead. Tell them that the best thing they can do to study society is to get a computer science degree, and then there is no better place to get that than at Cal Poly.